All right, so Denver Broncos, Week 8. We're playing them again. We're playing both games within the first half of the season. So we already played them once on October 1st. They played us pretty close for most of the game, and then Mahomes came down and pulled out 2 touchdowns at the end to come back and beat them. He snapped a couple streaks that night. First time Denver had allowed 300 passing yards and to a quarterback, and I'm not sure how many games, but it was a few, and there was like 60 something game streak where they had the lead going into the fourth quarter, and they had won all those games, and he snapped that one too. These are obviously two different teams. Denver has went down, and we have went up. The defense plays great at Arrowhead. Absolutely amazing at Arrowhead, really. 35-10 at half against San Francisco. We beat Jacksonville 30-14, and we beat Cincinnati the other night, who is even better, 45-10. So the defense has obviously gotten a lot better since the last time we played Denver. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The past 2 times that they have played us at Arrowhead, we have beat them by 10 points or more. And last year we was kind of playing on a down note when they came into town. Time before that was 2016. We had that 12-4 season, and we beat them 33-10 on Christmas. To make it short and sweet, Denver's coming off a blowout win against the Cardinals. Cardinals are awful. Josh Rosen is a rookie quarterback that talked a lot of shit, and now he's kind of eating his words with those 5 or 6 turnovers, whatever he had. Denver defense, I mean, divisional games always have the potential to be close, but we're playing so good at home right now. I just see this being a complete blowout. Denver, granted, they played good against Arizona. They have not played good before that. They were on a massive downslide. They got throttled by the Jets. So I just see this being a blowout. I think Pat Mahomes is going to walk all over him. He didn't really do that the first time, but we're playing at Arrowhead, and I can tell you right now the defense is going to play a lot better. So I think we win this game. I think we go to 7-1, and it's going to help our division odds. We'll be 3-0 in the division, and I believe Denver's going to drop down to 3-5 on the season. Keys to beating Denver. Let's just be honest. Case Keenum only played in Arrowhead one other time, and it was with the Houston Texans about 4 or 5 years ago, and they got beaten that game. He played like shit. He was younger then. He didn't have the team that he does now, but I just don't see it. They got Demaryius Thomas on the trade block. I just don't see Denver doing it. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's probably going to be like a 38-10 victory or something like that. Some of those points coming in garbage time. With the way we played against Cincinnati, who was the third best in the AFC at the time, I just don't see Denver pulling this game out. Our offense is way too much for him. Case Keenum can't keep up. That's just, I believe that's just rational football right there. He's just not going to be able to keep up. So, like I said, I think it's going to be a blowout victory. I think Kansas City's going to move on. We got Cleveland after. Yeah, we got Cleveland after Denver. So if we win that one, that's another AFC victory, another divisional victory, or a conference victory. Sorry, not a divisional. God, it's really early in the morning. I'm all mixed up right now, and this phone's been going haywire. So hopefully it doesn't freeze again. But I think they're going to pressure Keenum. I think they're going to get some turnovers. Kansas City's been getting turnovers left and right here lately. Not as many as Baltimore's been getting, but we've been getting turnovers, and the defense has been looking a little bit better. And like I said, they've been playing lights out at Arrowhead. So I don't see a reason why we shouldn't blow Denver out. Denver's just not a team that can compete with us. They have somewhat of the defensive tools to kind of hold back Mahomes, but he's learned so much since then. I just think Mahomes is going to walk all over this team, and it's going to become so overwhelming that Case Keenum is going to end up like Andy Dalton, and he's just going to, you know. And like I said, Case Keenum has not played in Arrowhead since he was with Houston, and I can guarantee you once he gets in Arrowhead and he hears how loud it is against the Denver, you know, because people pack the stadium. You got to think this stadium, Arrowhead Stadium, has been averaging 75 to 76,000 people a game. So take that in consideration, and they're all loud, and they're not even going to let him think. So that's the way I see this one going. I really don't see a downside here. I mean, we got every advantage in the world. Usually Denver plays us pretty close, but it's usually at Denver when they play us close. When they come to Arrowhead, they have struggled. And which, by the way, they haven't beat us at Arrowhead since December of 2015, and that was also the last win that they had against Kansas City. Kansas City also leads this series 62-55, even with that big, massive streak that Peyton Manning went on, and even the guys before him from 2012 all the way to 2015, they had beat us one time after another. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 victories in a row. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we win this game, we will have tied their streak for 7. And I believe we hold the longest winning streak in the AFC West right now with 7 wins over the Chargers. 8 consecutive wins, something like that. So I think the last time the Chargers beat us was a while back too, and the Raiders snapped it last year. We would have had a real big one over the Raiders, especially knowing how bad they are this year. But there was that bullshit game in Oakland last year where they won by a point on the last play of the game. They was just going to keep throwing flags until they got in the end zone. I mean, let's just be honest. But it is what it is. We got more win streaks against our division than any of these teams will ever have within the next 5 years. So, like I said, I think Keenum's just going to get overwhelmed. Kareem Hunt's running the ball like a madman right now. Mahomes is slinging it all over the field. People are catching it. There's hardly any drops from the wide receivers. Defense is playing lights out, especially at home. They're just playing lights out at home. So I think the defense is going to have something to prove. I think they're going to beat up on Denver, and I really do. I think it's going to be a long day for Case Keenum. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I really don't see a reason why we couldn't win this game by 17, 20 points. And that's just being nice to Denver. I mean, personally, I think if Mahomes plays the way he does and the defense plays the way they do, we might win this game by 30 points. I mean, hell, Alex Smith beat him in 2016, 33-10. But of course, that was with Trevor Siemian, so he was a little bit worse than Case Keenum. But I mean, I think that's just the game plan. Keep the offense rolling. Defense will keep them off the field. They got to stop Royce Freeman. Royce Freeman and Lindsey, they've been running the ball real hard lately. They are a good running football team. I'll give them that. And, of course, when you let those two guys run the ball like that consistently, then it opens up the passing game. So it's important for the defense to stay on top of things like they have been lately. And even as bad as Cincinnati was in prime time, being 0-7 on Sunday Night Football, I still think they had a better offense than, Denver has. So we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be turnovers in this game. I think the defense is going to keep rolling like they have been. And I think it's just going to be another impressive win for Kansas City. Like I've said many times before, I would rather lose to the best team in the league by 3 points than, beat a dead horse, beat a really horrible 1-6 team by 30 points or so. to me, that doesn't prove anything. So beating these guys will just help us in the division. I don't think it'll make us look any better. But you know, having Cincinnati come in at 4-2 and whip their ass like that kind of says something. So, with that being said, oh, and for all you guys that said New England was horrible when we played them, they have won their last, 4 games now? Was they 2-2? No, they was 3-2 in our game, but they won one before that. So yeah, they're on a 3-game win streak right now, or 4, something like that. Look, New England does that every year. You know, they start out really slow and then they heat up, but that's okay. That's what I wanted. I wanted to play the best team when they were at their best playing football, and we did. And I'm pretty proud of the way they played. So even if Denver does get a lead in Arrowhead by some chance, I don't really see it happening. But if they do, I am completely confident that Patrick Mahomes will come back and win them. It's always exciting in Denver. It's always a blowout in Kansas City. Not saying that that's the way that it's going to go this time, but that is the way that I predict it to go. I think it's going to be somewhat close at halftime, and then the second half they're just going to pull away with it. Denver is just another one of those teams where you start to get ahead of them and they just kind of slip away. You know, they just kind of lay down. So that's my prediction. Keys to beating Denver: shut down the running game, pressure Case Keenum, keep the running game going like they have been, and feed Mahomes the ball. I mean, it's really that simple. They did a pretty decent job of keeping Mahomes off the field the first game, so we need to keep him on the field, which means the defense has to do their job. Like I said, defense been playing lights out at Arrowhead, so I expect the same results. I think they're just going to keep playing lights out. Maybe they'll shut some of these analysts up eventually, you know. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching.